Advancing gender equity, federal government leverages technology for women empowerment.
Women are now set to go out into the world to put these new skills to use and to inspire and guide other young women.
As Africa advances its digital economy, experts advocate inclusive participation for women and girls.
The report contains several aspects of the investigative processes that will be instrumental in framing our human rights accountability mechanism.
7th Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit closes, targets ease of doing business among Nigerians home and abroad.
The diaspora's influence and impact are keenly felt across Africa.
Good evening and welcome. This is News at 9 on NTA. I am Lami Ali. Jennifer Igwe is in Lagos. Benny Adams will take the business news, and Ayodeji Makinde is on the sports news segments. This broadcast is live streamed on nta.ng/live. You can also follow us on other social media platforms of the NTA displayed on the screen. Now, the Special Independent Investigative Panel on Human Rights Violations in the Northeast has absolved the Nigerian military of allegations of forced illegal abortions and the massacre of children as alleged by a foreign media organization in December 2022. The panel submitted the reports of its findings to the National Human Rights Commission this Friday in Abuja. Omenka Amarachuku has the reports.
2022, a Reuters media report alleged that the Nigerian military conducted secret, illegal and forced abortions of more than 10,000 women and girls in the course of its counter-insurgency operations in the Northeast. Reuters cited healthcare and security workers as source of their information, but the National Human Rights Commission decided to ascertain the truth of the claims when it set up a 7-man investigation panel. 18 months down the lane, the panel's report is before the commission.
The report contains several aspects of the investigative processes that will be instrumental in framing our human rights accountability mechanism as well as the criminal justice system in Nigeria.
Together, we can honor our responsibility to uphold the rights and dignity of every individual in Nigeria, and let's follow up the recommendations of the report.
The panel received testimonies from eyewitnesses during its investigations in the Northeast. In Abuja, Omenka Amarachuku, NTA News.
Another set of 252 women drawn from across the country have been trained and empowered by the National Information Technology Development Agency in collaboration with the Renewed Hope Initiative, presenting empowerment items to the beneficiaries. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, describes the feat as another significant leap in the efforts of the current administration to advance gender equity, leveraging technology. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo reports.
It was a partnership born out of shared vision, which is to empower women and give them more room to play in the digital space. The vision drew its first breath on August 21, 2023, when a set of 35 beneficiaries drawn from the FCT underwent a 5-day ICT training with Renewed Hope Initiative, providing the platform and beneficiaries, while the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, offers logistics and training. Today, on the second-year anniversary of this strategic collaboration, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu is pleased to see the growth of the program, which now has 40 women per geopolitical zone embarking on the same capacity-building training aimed at transforming their communities.
These women are now set to go out into the world to put these new skills to use and to inspire and guide other young women. And I'm so glad hearing your testimonies today that you all are set to empower others, and that is the message. I look forward to the great things that all of you will accomplish in the months and years ahead. I thank the Director General of NIDA, Malam Kashifu Inua Abdullahi, and his team for this passion and steadfast commitment to bridge Nigeria's digital divide by ensuring our women's full participation in the digital revolution through access to technology that will enable them contribute meaningfully to the economic growth and innovation.
She notes that the ultimate goal of the collaboration is to leverage technology to bridge gender gaps.
To create more diverse and inclusive tech world, we need to inspire and empower the next generation of female role models to pursue and develop their career in technology and become innovators, leaders, and entrepreneurs.
The Director General of NITA, Kachifu Inua, is upbeat about the opportunities that are now at the disposal of beneficiaries in the digital space.
This will help them to expand their businesses. This will help them to have access to education and skills online. They can work from home. They can be part of the gig economy, creating software, doing graphic designing. And if they have their own petty business, they can use the skills to expand their market.
I'm so inspired, and I pledge that
Exuding much confidence with their startup packs in hand, the beneficiaries say they are ready to impact the digital world and their communities. From the conference center of the Presidential Villa, Adeniyi Taiwo, NTA News.
Implications of the ongoing reforms in the oil and gas sector in the economy was the focus of an interactive session between the Senate Committee on Finance and key establishments of government. The meeting is setting the stage on what to expect in the medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper 2025 to 2027. Here is the report.
Underscores our commitment to transparency, accountability.
As the Senate reviews the MTEP 2024 to 2026 and awaits that of 2025 to 2027, it deemed it crucial to engage key stakeholders on matters relating to the impact of the ongoing reforms.
Sales of crude oil to domestic refineries in Nigeria, in Naira. Additionally, we will examine shortfalls in NMPCL revenue remittances, focusing on key areas such as foreign and domestic excess crude accounts, the signature bonus account, NMPCL cash call account, and any outstanding unremitted revenue linked to under-recoveries.
The Minister of Finance said the federal government appreciates the understanding demonstrated by Nigerians, with assurances that results have started emerging.
The economic reform, once in place, portend additional revenue for government, recovery of the finances of NMPC, and a basis for growing the economy, a basis for attracting investment, increasing productivity, encouraging creation of jobs.
The meeting continued behind closed doors. In another development, a public hearing convened by the Senate Committee on Solid Minerals to collate views on the proposed establishment of the Nigeria Mine Rangers Service saw most ministries, departments and agencies of government expressing reservations.
Consider and adopt the Special Mines Surveillance Task Force and its standard operational procedure as a better alternative.
There are other agencies that are already doing what this bill intends.
We have made our submission, and that is our stand, that the bill should not be allowed to go.
The proposed agency seeks provision of personnel to monitor and patrol mining areas in Nigeria.
With its vast potential, the sector deserves every necessary policy attention and legislative intervention to fast-track its full exploration.
Let the process of exploiting and extracting this wealth it shouldn't be detrimental to life and humanity.
Create these rangers that will monitor from community to community, engaging our traditional rulers.
A 1-minute silence was observed at the public hearing in honor of the late Chief of Army Staff. Though Africa celebrates successes attained through digital economy, There are suggestions that the continent should display extra quests as inclusive participation, which hinders active participation of women and girl child, remains a challenge. Advocates at one of the sessions of the 2024 African Women's Congress in Lusaka, Zambia, are recommending sensitization to promote digital literacy among women. Oluseya Diabo has details.
Represents the end age. Tech is king. It brings the world to the palms.
Find that other women have fear.
From the explanation of Daliso Mongola, a 400-level student of political science, University of Zambia, in a particular community in his country, every woman still suffers from telephone phobia.
The major argument was that women are not allowed to have phone because it promotes them to do certain things that are not good.
The peer review mechanism approach at the 2024 Africa Women Conference is insatiably looking for an antidote to address this imbalance.
We planned, as part of our project for the coming year, to have pilot digital hub for girls across African countries.
We are looking forward that it will reach out to the whole of Zimbabwe and empower not only the girls and women and also men.
Experts from within and outside the continent, especially women who have established their footprints in the digital space, are now giving more insights into how African women can move from this parochial mindset.
With the right digital tools, we can dismantle these barriers and level the playing field for women in trade.
Social media is where we can reclaim our stories and show the world who we are: resilient, innovative, and powerful.
I am recommending that women should come out to participate.
But if government and leaders could invest more in technological advancement, then educating the women, that is at the grassroots.
The African Union's digital transformation strategy has set a goal of digital inclusion for every African woman by 2030. From Lusaka, Zambia, Oluseya Diabo, NTA News.
Now, the federal government says its collaboration with development partners to deepen financial inclusion is critical to achieving inclusive participation in its social investment programs. At a workshop organized by the Office of the Technical Advisor to the President on Financial Inclusion and Development Partners, Deputy Chief of Staff to the President, Ibrahim Hadeja, reaffirms the federal government's commitment to implementing the Accord on Economic and Financial Inclusion. Musa Abubakar brings us the details.
Nigeria's financial inclusion may have risen to 64% in 2023 from 54% in 2022. The target for the federal government is to close the gap through deliberate actions, including partnerships. This workshop, organized by the Technical Advisor to the President on Economic and Financial Inclusion and Partnership for Learning for All in Nigeria, PLAIN, focused on improving funding for non-state schools and enhancing financial inclusion and support while fostering financial literacy.
The majority of those who have been identified as requiring these programs are not financially included. So we need to work very closely with stakeholders, humanitarian affairs, to ensure that we ramp up the pace of extending financial inclusion.
This is in line with the present administration's agenda to brainstorm and see what are the areas, how we can do alignment of our strategy to support this financial inclusion.
This initiative seeks to empower communities and build a future where every child has access to quality education. In Abuja, Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
Ensuring consumer satisfaction and value for money took center stage at the 93rd Telecom Consumers Parliament in Abuja. Ayodeji Makinde reports that improving data quality was also deliberated on.
Industry experts, including representatives from major internet service providers, gathered to engage with the Nigeria Communications Commission (NCC) on the need to enhance consumer experience. Key topics including optimizing data usage, empowering consumers with awareness, and fostering a transparent, consumer-centered telecom industry. A major issue raised was the rapid depletion of data and the complexity of data bundles currently totaling over 150 options in the country, often leaving consumers overwhelmed. The discussions, facilitated by both the Association of Licensed Telecom Operators of Nigeria, ALTON, and the NCC, aimed at developing strategies to streamline data offerings, enhance user understanding, and achieve consumer satisfaction.
I want to reaffirm the Commission's commitment to transparency and accountability within the sector. It will also give investors transparency, who is the most compliant operator in the industry.
One of the neighbors told me, I saw the clip online. I watched the video 20 times. And in my mind, I said to myself, you have consumed data watching the same video clip 20 times. So she will come the next morning and say, the operators have taken my data last night, not reminding herself that she's watched one particular clip for so many times.
Panelists also highlighted operational challenges, such as equipment vandalism and theft, which impact service quality. Despite these economic hurdles, telecom providers reaffirmed their commitment to improving consumer satisfaction and enhancing service delivery across Nigeria. In Abuja, Ayodeji, Makinde, NTA News.
The federal government, through the Job Creation and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Secretariat of the Vice President, has signed a partnership with a music icon, Innocent Idibia, popularly known as Two-Face, to seek public support for the MSME sector. The partnership agreement was signed by Two-Face and Tola Adekunle Johnson, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Job Creation and MSMEs. The coming on board of Two-Face as a job creation and MSMEs brand ambassador is expected to promote ideas and initiatives under the National MSMEs Awards. Innocent Idibia appreciated President Tinubu's administration for its support to the youth and small businesses, promising to create more awareness in the country on MSMEs, especially among the youth.
In trying to consistently promote this, we've looked at areas that are of interest to some of our target audience, and you will agree with me that is the entertainment or creative industry. Today, we will be unveiling who I regard as an icon. In his rights, he's a legend.
Most of our youth today, there's so many things going on. People might even underestimate the power and the value that this will bring, to both the individuals and their communities and then the country as a whole. So for me, I really commend this initiative from government towards young people.
The stakeholders promise more partners from the private sector and encourage commitments to empower the youth in the area of job creation.
Cultural trend, don't be left out.
Business. Benny is going to bring us the bits on business. Benny, it's over to you.
Thank you very much, Lami. Now, ahead of She Is Included, a gender inclusion conference on next year, 30th January, with the theme Breaking Barriers and Building Resilience for Sustainable Economic and Financial Inclusion, Office of the Vice President on Financial Inclusion, the FCT Women Affairs Secretariat, in partnership with development partners, are supporting 300 women-owned businesses with 50,000 Naira grants and capacity building to grow their businesses. The effort, they say, is complementary to efforts of the Renewed Hope Initiative being championed by wife of the President, Senator Remi Tinubu.
This helped my business because before the business have collapsed.
It looks at economic empowerment. We provide training, we provide psychosocial support, we provide business kits. So there are different things that we are doing to support women, rural women.
All across the Federation on one day, one goal, 50,000
capital was each was invested in 1,000 women across the whole of Nigeria. So that is what? 37,000 women. Now, what happened that day was that our own administration had an add-on of 300. So that was 1,300. Then UN Women said they were going to also support and collaborate with Her Excellency, the First Lady's investment by supporting another 300. So that's what? 1,600 women.
The government is saying, come and partner with us, both public and private sector, come and rally around us. Let's do this Nigerian journey to $1 trillion economy all together, not only us as government. So that's actually the high point of this particular event. And I can tell you, more and more activities are going to take place. For today, being the pilot, the national flag is going to take place precisely on 30th of January 2025.
When you empower a woman, you empower a whole community. This will further strengthen the economy and help families come out of poverty.
That gesture is to further close the gap of 26% of women whom are financially excluded. And now a quick look at the Nigerian Stock Exchange at this time. The stock market actually closed trading week bullish, building on the gain recorded on Thursday as investors sustained their buying interest in some stocks, leading to investors gaining about 188.65 billion naira. And looking at the numbers at this time, talking about the stock market, looking at the numbers at this time, we have, I can see, looking at numbers at this time, well, the market breadth also closed positively at 0.09%, which is 29 gainers as against 83 losers. Well, this is it on business. Lami, you can take it from here.
Thank you, Benny. Now we go to Ogbomoso, where Vice President Kashim Shettima has called on Muslim Ummah to always channel their resources in the path of Allah for eternal rewards. The Vice President stated this in Ogbomoso as the inauguration of an ultra-modern central mosque built by Senator Abdul Fattah Buhari, representing Oyo North. Abiodun Babalola reports.
Kashim Shettima, who was accompanied to Ibadan by the Kwara State Governor, Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, Deputy Senate President, former senators, among others, was received by the Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde, represented by his deputy, Bayo Lawal, Shaun of Ogbomoso Land, Oba Gandhi Afolabi Olaoye, and other traditional rulers in the state. The Vice President, while congratulating Senator Abdul Fattah Buhari for the project, says his decision to build the ultra-modern mosque shows the love he has for Islam and the Muslim community.
We are reminded that not only the devil we owe to humanity, but also the significance of the purest deeds, was performed solely for the sake of Allah, with no expectation of return or recognition from others. Charity in Islam is not merely a duty, but an honor, a testament to our faith, and a reminder that our actions speak further when they are for the benefit of others.
He advised Nigerians to always pray for their leaders and be optimistic. In his lecture, an Islamic preacher, Sheikh Muhyiddin Ajani Bello, commended Senator Buhari's contribution to the service of Allah and advised him to do more towards the progress of Islam. Senator Abdul Fattah Buhari, who could not hide his joy, says he is only demonstrating virtues of spending in the way of Allah. Goodwill messages centered on the need for the Muslim community in Ibadan to guard the house of Allah jealously for its sustainability. 2 imams appointed for the mosque were turbaned as Alhaji Ajani Bello led other Muslims, including the Vice President, to observe the first Jumat service in the mosque. Abiodun Babalola, NTA News.
In a heartwarming display of solidarity, the leadership of the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, BON, paid a courtesy visit to Governor Babagana Umar Zulum of Borno State in Abuja, presenting a 5.5 million naira check to support the rebuilding of Borno State radio and television stations devastated by the recent floods in Maiduguri, led by the chairman, Comrade Abdul Hamid Dembus, accompanied by the Executive Secretary, Yemisi Gbangboshe, and other key officials. This generous donation underscores Bond's commitments to upholding the broadcasting industry standard and ethics. The gesture of support also comes at a crucial time for Borno State, which has faced significant challenges in recent years, including insurgency and humanitarian crisis. With Governor Zulum's tireless efforts to rebuild and restore normalcy to the state, this donation serves as a testament to the power of collaboration and community spirit. The details of that report will come to you in our subsequent bulletin. We go to the courts now. Magistrate Court of the Federal Capital Territory sitting in Kuje has adjourned to the 22nd of November 2024 for consideration of a motion on notice filed by the Defense Counsel in the alleged assault and threat to life charges preferred against Alex Ikweche, a member of the House of Representatives, by the Inspector General of Police. Chukunonso Mwabweze reports.
At the resumed hearing of the case, counsel to the defendant, O.D. Ajike, sought the leave of the court to move a motion on notice, which he said had been served on the prosecution. In his objection, the prosecution counsel, Ibrahim Mohammed, said although his attention was drawn to a service copy of the alleged motion in the court file, he was yet to be duly served. He therefore prayed the court for time to be served properly to enable him respond to the said motion adequately. Without any objection from the defense counsel, Senior Magistrate Abubakar Umar adjourned the case to 22nd of November 2024 for the defense counsel to move the motion. He, however, reminded counsels that there will be no room for longer adjournments in the matter in order to meet up with the 180 days adjudication period in criminal matters as provided for in the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015. Alex Ikweche, standing trial over allegations of assault and threat to life of an Uber driver, preferred against him by the Inspector General of Police on behalf of the federal government. The defendant, who was in court for the day's proceedings, had earlier pleaded not guilty to the charges. Issues contained in the motion sought to be moved by the defense counsel were not made known. Chukunonso Mwabweze, NTA News.
Network News continues in Lagos with Jennifer Igwe. Hello, Jennifer. It's over to you.
Lami. Now, testament of enduring partnership between Nigeria and the United Kingdom through the International Organization for Cultural Relations and Educational Opportunities, the British Council, is being celebrated as it marks 8 decades of remarkable achievements in Nigeria, impacting the youth and the vulnerable through innovative projects in many ways. Adiola Komi-Akere reports that the tie is founded on shared values, mutual respect, with belief of collaborating to overcome challenges.
Since coming to Nigeria in 1944, the British Council has worked alongside the country's leaders, artists, educators, and communities to create opportunities that resonate across generations, thereby empowering millions of people with skills, education, and connections that open doors and transform lives.
Over 70% of the population in Nigeria are under the age of 30. That's a significant number. So if we're to be relevant as an organization, we have to target that youth and we have to bring in the young people for them to be able to contribute to the development of this country.
Choosing the theme, Amplifying the Voices of the Future, the British Council affirms aligns with its long-standing objective of equipping young people and its mission statement rooted in the UN SDGs.
Today we celebrate the young people who have seized the opportunities provided by the British Council to access international qualifications, enhance their capacities across sectors, and perceive to have huge impacts in their communities.
The 80th anniversary celebration had fireside chat sessions on unlocking the economic potential of young people now and in the future, as well as enhancing young voices in delivering effective and sustainable change. Nigerians attested to being agents of that change through British Council-led programs. Young artists of the spoken word captivated the audience with their talents, while Hanefa Adam began painting and concluded before the end of the celebration to the admiration of all in less than 2 hours. The British Council, after 80 years of existence in Nigeria, remains committed to fostering deeper connection and building a future that respects cultural heritage, embracing innovation and inclusivity. In Lagos, Adeola Komiakere, NTA News.
Now to the ports. The seizure of 16 containers of illicit substances and unregistered pharmaceutical products within the space of 6 months is re-engineering enforcement strategies at the Tinkan Island port, as the customs says all necessary resources, including international security partners, will be deployed to stop the trend. The Customs Area Controller, Dera Nadi, said this in Lagos just as the command hit a milestone of 1 trillion naira in revenue generation. Michael Olaleye reports.
It is the year of deepening compliance and the mantra going forward, according to the customs at the Tinkan Island port, is reform or regrets. This is a guiding principle which by the records is influencing more traders to embrace legitimate practice as compliance pays more than deviance. And based on the cooperation received from stakeholders, the Tinkan Island Command said it has generated close to 1 trillion and 50 billion naira from January to date.
We reward compliance. Those traders that bring in cargo and refuse to check are given expedited action and release of their cargo.
For those who still believe in importation of illicit substances and unregistered pharmaceutical products, as seen in the case of these 16 containers, the pains outweigh the gains.
The Drug Enforcement Agency of U.S., partnering with the NTA and Customs, offered training facilities for us. That goes to show you, and they are as concerned as we are too.
The containers intercepted between May and October this year came filled with cannabis indica, codeine-based products, and diclofenac sodium tablets imported from Canada, India, and United Kingdom.
Since the beginning of the year 2024, we have apprehended a total of 37 suspects, comprising 34 males and 3 females, and we have also secured over 20 convictions.
Just as the Yuletide season is around the corner, the Tinkan Island Port Command gave assurance of total support for compliance traders so as to ensure there is no delays in their cargo delivery. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NT News.
That's all from Lagos. We'll take a break now. The news will continue shortly with...
Thank you for saying. President Bola Tinubu extends congratulations to Chief Onyema Ugochukwu, veteran journalist and former chairman of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, as he celebrates his 80th birthday on November 9th, 2024. In his message, President Tinubu highlights Ugochukwu's illustrious life and career, which spanned several pivotal moments in Nigeria's history, serving as a profound source of inspiration for the younger generation. As a special advisor to former President Olusegun Obasanjo and the founding chairman of NDDC, Ugochukwu demonstrated an unwavering commitment to his country. President Tinubu rejoices with Ugochukwu as he joins the esteemed ranks of Nigeria's octogenarians and prays for his continued health and longevity, hoping the nation can continue to benefit from his wisdom and rich perspectives for many more years to come. 17 political parties and their governorship candidates in Ondo State have signed a peace accord ahead of the November 16th governorship election. The ceremony, which was at the instance of the National Peace Committee, led by its chairman, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, is to ensure a violent-free electoral process. Ifeoluwa Omoshule reports.
The display of unity among the governorship candidates after signing the peace accord signals their commitment to maintaining peace and sending a message of non-violence to their supporters.
We will all abide by the tenets of that signed peace accord.
We have to first of all protect our state before we talk about the kind of political party we belong to. At the end of the day, one out of the candidates will win.
We educate our supporters, we inform them across the 80 local governments.
The National Peace Committee, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and other relevant key players urged the candidates to uphold peace, emphasizing that a smooth electoral process hinges on a stable and peaceful environment even after the election results are announced.
Election is not war. So please, want Nigerians, especially on those states, citizens, to go out and vote for a candidate of their choice.
The peace accord is not an automated, self-actualizing document. Your commitment to its implementation is crucial.
Highlighting potential disruptions to the electoral process, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, represented by Deputy Inspector General of Police, Abiodun Alabi, warned the candidates against engaging in any activity that could incite violence, stating that anyone found guilty would face legal consequences.
The electorate, the voters, all political gladiators, the police itself. All we need to do is just to ensure that peace reigns.
The governorship candidates expressed their desire for a credible election outcome that genuinely reflects the will of the people. In Akure, Feoluwa Amoshule, NTA News.
Stay tuned for more stories and sports news after the break. In a heartwarming display of solidarity, the leadership of the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, BON, paid a courtesy visit to Governor Babagana Umar Zulum of Borno State in Abuja, presenting a 5.5 million naira check to support the rebuilding of Borno State radio and television stations devastated by the recent floods in Maiduguri, led by the chairman, Comrade Abdul Hamid Dembis, accompanied by the Executive Secretary, Yemisi Bangboshe, and other key officials. This generous donation underscores BON's commitment to upholding the broadcasting industry standards and ethics. The gesture of support also comes at a crucial time for Borno State, which has faced significant challenges in recent years, including insurgency and humanitarian crisis. With Governor Zulum's tireless efforts to rebuild and restore normalcy to the state, this donation serves as a testament to the power of collaboration and community spirit.
Utilized by the Borno Radio Television Authority in order to ensure recovery of all the items that were lost. But I also want to assure you that government will complement your effort in ensuring speedy growth and development of the BRTV. The NTA has been a cardinal pillar in disseminating information in the state. On behalf of BON, to commensurate with the government and of course the people of Borno State for the flood that happened in October, the 5.5 million naira is meant to contribute towards the resuscitation of the broadcast organization in Borno State.
And sports news is next with Ayo.
Thanks, Lami. Chairman, National Sports Commission Shehu Diko has expressed his delight over Team Nigeria's outstanding performance at the African Scrabble Championship in Kigali, Rwanda, after they won 7 out of the 10 prizes at the tournament. 87 wordsmiths from 8 African countries competed in the 15th edition of the tournament from October 24 to 27.
Your success has validated what you have been thinking. That if you do the development the right way, you support through the schools, through the whatever system we could do, through the monthly tournaments we are doing, which is part of the domestic development.
We are 80% confident that we will win, because we know that no other African nation does what we do in Nigeria.
The Nigeria Football Federation aims to make national teams more attractive to investors as it navigates the hurdles of payday to coaches. NFF President Ibrahim Gusau stated this at the invitation of the House Committee on Sports, where the chairman, Kabiru Amadu, advised the Football House to include salaries of Super Eagles coaches as an item in its annual budget.
I realize it's like when you have a local coaches, you feed them in naira, while you feed the foreign coaches in dollar. Why the disparity, please?
We have to do whatever we can internally to see how we can get sponsors that will sponsor us to hire whatever level of coach we want to hire, so that we'll be sure whichever coach we are bringing to our national team, we have the funds to settle him at the appropriate time.
Let's tell you that Lobby Stars and Abia Warriors will play one of the two matches on match day 11 of the Nigeria Premier Football League on Saturday as the bid to bounce back from the 1-0 loss to Remo Stars last weekend. In Saturday's other pairing, Kano Pillars are in Benin in a headline encounter with Bendel Insurance. On Sunday, Katsina United in Lagos play Ikorodu City FC. Rivers United and Bayelsa United are involved in a South-South derby, while Lekon Salami Sports Complex is the venue for the match between 3SC of Ibadan and El Kanemi Warriors of Maiduguri. And that's your sports. It's back to Lami.
Thank you, Ayo. Now, death is said to be inevitable, but when it befalls a man whose life of impact transcends beyond his locality, people grieve without recourse to that notion. This was the case at Oburu in Ohazala Council area of Ebonyi State, as the creme de la creme of Nigerian politics, including a delegation from the presidency, converged to bid farewell to the first executive governor of Abia State and former Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu. Caleb Ogbonna brings us the details.
Death is a fact of life. It is inevitable for all. It is a debt we all must pay.
That solemn song and sermon began the journey of nature for the 72-year-old statesman, the first executive governor of Abia State and former Minister of Science and Technology, late Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, who was one of the frontiers for the formation of the nation's ruling party, the All Progressive Congress APC in 2013, which President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, represented by the Minister of Works, Senator David Umahi, insists is one among his many sacrificial services geared towards entrenching democracy, anchored on his unwavering commitment to honesty, fairness, and development.
Our country has lost a different gentleman, elder statesman, patriotic Nigeria, and a strong deliver in our march towards Nigeria's full destiny as a great nation.
For Southeast governors, led by Governor Francis Mwifuru, ministers as well as the past and present government functionaries, the demise of Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu is a monumental loss to the nation, as his leadership ingenuity has not been fully tapped.
He was a mentor in fostering the relationship that brought the government and the officials to Africa.
It was a big loss, not just to the people of Ebonyi State, but to Nigeria at large.
Late Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, a member of the Ancient Order of the Knights of St. John International, held many national honors due to his immeasurable contributions to nation building. He is survived by a wife and 4 children. In Abakaliki, Caleb Ogbonna, NTA News.
And that's the network news. We thank you for watching. Do have a good weekend.